Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGV, and I hope you're ready for another year of Boros Aggro, because today we are checking out Rotation Proof, or Standard 2023, the queue they didn't give us, in favor of Alchemy. For Boros Aggro, the deck that is probably going to be everybody's go-to as soon as rotation hits. It's already the most popular deck on ladder, and while it does lose some key cards, I think that they're replaceable. So we're going to go over what will happen and what Boros Aggro will look like when rotation comes next month. Actually, September 1st is now the drop day for Dominaria United on MTG Arena, so get ready. It's going to be a heck of a Labor Day weekend in the US as we ride into a brand new meta, a brand new set, and a full rotation. Gone will be the days of Goldspan, Dragon, and Asika's Chariot, but the cards that await to take their place have proven themselves as powerful players. And when we look at the tribe of Boros right away, we see that so much of the deck is intact. The deck has three key losses as I see it. Loss number one, Roil Eruption. This ability to go face is often the way that the game's ended, and without the reach of this card, I am sure some of the Boros game-stealing plays that you've seen on ladder again and again won't exist. That said, a 2-mana sorcery speed, 3 damage to any target thing is pretty normal. It's been printed many times in Standard, so there might be one of these in Dominaria, but if you were going to craft this deck today, you would not want to craft Roil Eruption as it's about to rotate. What you can craft instead is a very easy switch. Some decks already play it, Kami's Flare. 1 in a red for an instant at common, 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker, and then 2 damage to that permanent's controller if you control a modified creature. There are a good number of ways to have modified creatures in this deck, which often turns on mode number 2, and at times makes this a better play than the Roil Eruption that it's replacing, mostly because in best of one on the ladder there's a lot of aggro and a lot of aggro mirrors. So if you're pointing your Roil Eruption at creatures most of the time anyway, Kami's Flare also gives you a little potential for hitting face as well. 5 damage for 2 mana instead of 3. So Kami's Flare, pretty easy swap right there. Arguably the biggest loss to the deck is Luminarch Aspirant. This is not going to be an easy one to replace. For one thing, it worked really well with that modifying, the modified synergy. It worked really well with that. It worked really well with Kami's Flare, which is now going into the deck, so Kami's Flare might not be as active as we think it will be. And it's also the best white 2-drop in a long time, having impact on Pioneer, Explorer, Historic. So this is not going to be an easy card to replace. The way that I see it, there are a number of challengers for the throne. I've got a mix of them in the deck. Thalia is the one that stands out a lot. This deck has a very high ceiling. When it's taxing the spell decks very, very intensely, it really messes them up. But it's very risky in this deck because we're playing more spells than the typical aggro deck has in recent years. Gone are the days of like the 30 creature plus etc builds because of Bone Crusher Giant and Rimrock Knight. We've got 4 of this saga, we've got 4 of Play with Fire, we've got 4 Kami's Flare, we've got a Valorous Stance. So it is arguable. Maybe the right answer is to run a bunch of Thalia. I'm trying one. I think that the eventual winner might be Sungold Sentinel. Hear me out, a little bit of graveyard hate does go a long way, and it's very nice against the numerous flashback cards that are here and there. It also helps to get ahead of that pesky graveyard trespasser by making sure there are no creatures in the graveyard for it to exile to gain that life. It does hit hard, it trades with that said trespasser, and if you get a counter on it from Kumano Faces Kakazan, it swings for 4 on turn 3. It also can pump Hopeful Initiate twice on its own, even if the opponent deals with your larger threats, which is a big deal against counter magic if that's a thing in the format. So also the Coven ability is something that this deck can turn on pretty well. A Hopeful, an Adversary, and a Sungold will do it, and then you can activate the Sungold and get through some sneaky damage. And this deck does in every way lack evasion. It really is all ground creatures, so having no flying, no menace, nothing, no unblockability in the past would sometimes cause this deck to just get into ground stalls it could not win. Sun Gold Sentinel can slip through. So I think this card will probably win the job, but it's a rare, and if you're crafting the deck today, I'm not absolutely positive. So we might want to wait and even see if there's another 2-drop creature coming in Dominaria United. The other card that's fighting for the throne is Intrepid Adversary. I hate the idea of playing a 3-1 on turn 2 in a Meat Hook Massacre format, because I think it will be too easy to sweep up. I think that toughness really matters. It's another reason I really like the Sentinel. Thalia gets away with it by taxing the cost of the Meat Hook, just like an extra toughness would. But Adversary on turn 2, if the opponent untaps and just plays Hook for 1, it feels so bad. So I don't think... Also, it's a mythic. I'm not going to tell you to craft 4 mythics when I'm not absolutely sure. We're trying 1 today. I wouldn't be surprised, though. The right answer is Sun Gold Sentinel. It's the one that I'm leaning to the most here before we've even really played the games. As we move up the curve, the entire top end of the deck is intact. 4 Brutal Cathars, 4 Sunrise Cavaliers, and Thundering Reiju. Still all here. But arguably the biggest hit that the deck takes is in the mana base, where we are losing Needle Verge Pathway. We're also losing Fury Calm Snarl, which I like to play in the deck. We're also losing Den of the Bugbear and Cave of the Frost Dragon. Heck, we don't even have a Crawling Barrens. There are no creature lands left, so you've gotta hope they're coming in Dominaria United. Aggro decks need creature lands more than other decks, because they need that way to finish the job when their creatures on the board can't get it done. However, I thought for sure that when I made this video, I was going to have to suck it up and just play the pathways and call it an almost rotation-proof deck. But a little spark ignited in my mind when I thought of the fact that all of the white creatures in the deck are humans. Human, 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 human. All you need to cast what you need to cast with this deck is 1 white mana that can cast a human. So I found my untapped land, my Needle Verge Pathway replacement, in Secluded Courtyard, which enters the battlefield, chooses a creature type, and it adds a mana to your mana pool of any color to cast the creature of that type. You can also use it to use their abilities, such as Sun Gold Sentinel's ability, or Intrepid Adversary's ability, or Hopeful Initiate's remove 2/1/1 counters ability. So Secluded Courtyard is also uncommon, so it's a really easy craft. Now the other land we're going to run is Sundown Pass. I hate having 4 Sundown Passes in this deck, because if it's your turn 1 play coming in tapped and you don't get to play your Initiate on time, it's a disaster. So we have to mulligan hands like that. Also, because we have no creature lands and the risk of flooding out is much greater now because our lands don't do as much as they used to, I'm trying 2 Sokens and Crucible of Defiance. These are rares. Craft at your own risk. You probably only need 1. You probably don't need 2, but if you happen to get the second lying around somewhere, I'm trying 2 in this deck so that the chance of flooding out is lower, and it does make 2 1/1s haste. It's doing a creature land type of impression, so that's what we're that's why it made the cut. So goodbye to these old cards who are rotating. Hello to the new hotness. Boros intact and as ready as ever to dominate the meta. Let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. Today's video is dedicated to Michael Garcia, who is now a member on Patreon. Thank you very much for joining, and enjoy your shout out. And now, let's get into the action. I'm an aggro mage. I must go first. Make me go first. No! Deck. Oh, man. And we've got the beautiful Kumano Faces Kakaza on turn 1, but if we don't draw an untapped land, the Sundown Pass on turn 2 is going to ruin us. However, if we don't draw untapped lands, this hand is terrible anyway. However, if in the top 2 cards, because we're on the draw, there's an untapped land, we go turn 1 Kumano, turn 2 Sentinel, turn 3 Cavalier or Cathar. That is so good, we gamble. We need an untapped land, a non-Sundown Pass land. So when you think about how many lands are in your deck, we're thinking like 21. It's actually, you want to remove these as well. There's only 18 lands in our deck that we can draw that make this all work. The other option, because we're on the draw, is we could play the Sundown Pass now and then have like Kami's Flare, Sun Gold Sentinel, etc. ready. Ooh. So the odds are that we don't draw an untapped land next turn, to be honest. We only have 18 hits in the deck. This is why I hate Sundown Pass. We need another, like, cheap, aggressive land. We need another pathway. Something like the pathways really badly in the next set. Opponent's going to foretell here. Interesting. I guess I'll deploy this Sentinel and we'll see what the opponent does. We did not hit the untapped land. In fact, we're still looking for any land off the top, but every land we draw now is good. There we go. But what do we do? Seems like a Doomscar, doesn't it? It does seem like a Doomscar, and this seems like Hinata. I do have a Brutal Cathar for the Hinata, but it's a bit of a disaster because then they Doomscar and we're wrecked. So I think I'm supposed to play the Cavalier, draw the Doomscar, and get it played. Also, they have to have the untapped white. Maybe they don't. GG? Chandra Avatar must go first. Must go first. We go first. Frickin' Sundown Pass. Oh, am I supposed to mulligan this hand? Oh, it makes me so angry. Dude, top deck untapped land. Max possible upside. But, ooh, come on, untapped land. Double Sundown Pass. So brutal. I'll take it. I'll take it. At least it's playable. Seagate Reborn. I will punish you. Snow-covered island? What are you? All right, play around Jawari for sure, right? So Bloodthirsty. How you doing? Yeah. Spectral Adversary. Our opponent likes spirits. Okay. We take that. That's fine. What else you got? Storm Chaser Drake in mono blue. I think they're about to try to slip out the back, guys. So let's just throw a Thundering Raiju right down their throat while they can't counter it. Put a counter here so there's no clear trade for the Drake. Swing for 9. And the opponent blocks. They slip out the back. That phases though, so it doesn't trade. They go to 7. How are they going to get out of this? Like that. Our deck still has some bite, even without 4 sets in an 8-set standard. All right. Kamano faces Kakazans. Sundown frickin' Pass. Let's try it. Let's try it. Why can't I get one of those secluded courtyards one time? There we go. If we draw the untapped land, life is beautiful. They played a Deathcap Glade. What? What sorcery is this? Can't do it. Cannot do it, man. Sundown frickin' Pass. Hand smoothing algorithm says you get 2 landers a lot. That's why Sundown Pass is so nasty. All right, Tainted Indulgence. You Reanimator? Discard Faithful Mending. Colors? Greasefang? Is that you? Celestus. No land! Nice. Give them the business. We do have Stick. What did my Greasefang deck do for 1 mana? I can't even remember anymore. I mean, I was putting the Marches in a lot of decks. Maybe it's a March. The Black March would be a very disappointing experience. I could play with Fire the Face. Get a Scry. If I do that, I'm going to draw the... It's going to be a land on top 100% if I do that, right? They dropped the Chariot, so this might be the last turn we actually get to attack with our creatures. So if I miss on this land, I just lose, but I think I need it so badly we have to do it anyway. I'd so much rather get in with the Cavalier, though. We're never going to kick this. All right. Yeah, let's try to hit this land. Okay. Hard mode. Draw. Did it. Not that that means we win the game, because like I said, this is probably the last turn we get to attack with these creatures on the ground before the chariot takes over. So I don't know how we're going to finish this job. Hopefully they don't have a Black March, but it feels like they do. Man, why'd I put those in decks? When Sonia was the only one playing them, nobody played it. Greasefang? Paging Dr. Greasefang? Meat Hook. Oh, good. I mean, it's not good, but you know what I mean. I'm not out of the game yet. Greasefang. Oh, boy. All right. Chariot awaits. So do we take the Greasefang with the Brutal Cathar? Taking out a cat doesn't do much, right? And they just have this back. Okay. I'm pretty sure that there is no hope. 10 life. Yep, that sucked. But that deck is good, and it does beat Boros if they don't start perfectly, and our start was anything but perfect. Hey, Secluded Courtyard showed up. Let's go. And we have the red mana for the Kumano. Awesome. And they've got the cheating version with Den of the Bugbear. All right, human. Come on out, Thalia. Although Play with Fire is pretty brutal here if that's what they have. At least it takes their whole turn. Yeah, that our opponent is cheating so hard. They're not supposed to have that card. Ooh, look at the draw, though. Look at the draw. I think we have to play that. Yep, can't have that frickin' Luminarch Aspirant piling up counters and shutting us down on the ground. Just can't have it. Sunrise. You attacking with that thing, though? You're at 12, I'm at 19? No way, right? No way. Wow. Gutsy. I guess we just play out as much as we can. Of course, they'll take that trade. But one less blocker for them as we try to push through the final damage. Yeah, I figured they had that on turn 2 when they were thinking so hard. It finally comes down. Oh no. Oh no. And we draw a land that is not a Den of the Bugbear. We have to top deck a haste creature. This game might just be over. Yeah, I drew a lot of land and some nasty little 1/2s. It wasn't great. But we can draw a Bloodthirsty Adversary and get back this Kami Flare. That would be hot. Stop drawing the good stuff. Where's my good stuff? All right. Adversary. Nope, can't do it. Yeah, that's probably game. Because now they get these +1/+1 counters. We know that they still have one more spell in hand. And I guess we'll just try to catch them by surprise with a perfect adversary top deck. Yep. Yep. Okay, so We don't want to stop this like 9 trample that's coming. They put a counter here. I guess that's good. So we can't take all this. We have to do this. We gotta go here. This is still 10 though, so we have to go here. That's too bad. We might have needed that. All right. Top deck haste creature. Win game, maybe? And we die. Opponent cheating with their still legal cards. I guess we lose to the original. All right, we're on the play. We have Kumano, but we have no way to cast our white spells, so that's fun. And now we have no way to cast our red spells, but I'm actually gonna keep this one. I'm just gonna hope to rip a red source, since mostly red sources are in the deck, since we still have 1-drop, 2-drop. Opponent with superior mana. Ugh, this is what you don't want to see. This is the downside of the courtyard. If that's your red source, you can't cast the Kami Flare. No play with fire. I think they'll use it here. They go face? Bold. Very bold. I did not expect that. I guess they had another and they wanted to hit land, but they played this untapped last turn, so they had the land. Weird. You got a third play with fire? I think they do. Oh my goodness. Perfect hand for the mirror. Let the brutal wars begin. How many brutal Cathars do you think they have? The answer is 3, right? Always. But the bright side is we get damage each time through the cycle. Okay, gross. And it attacks. I guess our counter attack is pretty good though. All right, red source. Do we take this thing out? Maybe we don't. Getting the ward on this is huge. And a +1/+1 counter? I'm doing it. Come at me, bro. Now, it's important to remember, this enters now as a Moonrage Brute. Okay. No bring back a play with fire for you? Okay, we are bringing back a play with fire. Is that enough to kill me? 12? 8, 9, 10. You're 2 off. Okay. They did cast 2 spells, so we get a transformation here. This is going to be nasty. This is going to be nasty. Right now I'm bringing them to 1. No! No! All right. This is so risky. You go to 1. The other option was to flip it back to night, turn off their brutal Cathars and have ward on our creature so they couldn't remove it. Oh no! The punish! They had it! No! But are they a point short? They are a point short, right? No, it's even Steven because of the trigger. No! Ah! All right. No turn 1 play, bad mana. Turn 1 plays good mana. I guess we try. I wonder if I'm only supposed to keep 1 hopeful. No. No. That's not versatile enough. Let's go like this. Right. Gonna need a way to make these initiates bigger. Opponent with cheaty mana base. Kill it. All right, rip a Sundown Cavalier and, you know, game on. Can't do it. I just can't do it today, guys. It's impossible. Just give them the one mana, 1/1 beats. 1 power beats, I should say. Okay, they have a handful of spells. They're mana screwed, though. I guess I should save these for the better creatures. I can outmode this. And I'm going to keep waiting for their better creatures. If they play a second one, I'll kill one. But yeah, that's much more important to kill. Dude, I'm getting so tilted. But hang in there. Hang in there. We'll find a way. Our opponent has a hand full of awesome. We have a hand full of nothing because we have nothing in it. Alright, damage. Keep holding the Cathar. It's gonna die anyway, but maybe it's harder to kill if we play it with a counter. Opponent's still mana screwed, and they've got, I'm sure, a bunch of great creatures in their hand. Down to 11. There's a Cavalier. All right, game on. It took a while, but this is where we need to be. Down to 8. They need to miss this land drop, and then we need to use this Brutal Cathar to close the game next turn. Crap. I was really hoping they wouldn't do that. And they're holding back, huh? They're just throwing that under a bus. I guess they want to trade it with this 2/2. So if we play this Brutal Cathar, they go to 2, then they play a Brutal Cathar. They take our Brutal Cathar, they get back their adversary. But we have these 3, they take this, then we play this. And we're trying to get through 2 damage. Or we could play this and put them on 1. They have to draw the land for that Brutal Cathar. Let's try putting them on 2 and not giving up any creatures. All right, they're due for that land. Let's see if they hit it. We got really lucky not to draw any more lands after the Sekenzen. We actually did pull the Cavaliers. Oh, it's a den! Oh, that's huge! Okay. Oh. All right. I was starting to lose faith. All right, cool. On the draw. Great hand, too. All right. We'll see if it can do its thing on the draw. Now we just need to draw a good Thundering Raiju. Opponent with Grixis and mana open. Concerning. Here's a Sun Gold. Resolves. Does the opponent kill it? Probably. Yeah, they were ready. That's where being on the draw is really rough. Alright, Expressive Iteration into a Coast. Straightforward here. Drop the Cavalier, hit him in the face. They have mana open again. They have another 1 mana removal spell ready. Alright, so they've had 2 perfectly cheap removal spells on curve. We can't take too many more of those. Harvester. Land. I think they might block here. So we have to try. Another removal spell here is such a blowout, though. Miuk Massacre is a pretty big blowout, too. Do we hold back? Yeah. I think so. Soaring Thought Thief. So it's an Evelyn deck for sure, and that is their, like, Rogue's Tribal payoff. Evelyn is a vampire and a rogue, fun fact. Alright, still nothing to kick out of the graveyard with the Bloodthirsty Adversary. Hate having to make this play. Okay, 2 meat hooks. Love it. Kami Flare. I guess we hold back and try to get value out of it with the adversary. And go to nighttime at least. No modified creature is so sad. Okay. We'll try throwing the Sunrise at them and hope they don't have the Evelyn here. Never didn't have it. Not even close, man. It's not even close. All right, we're on the play. We've got the mana to cast our spells. We have to top deck some land, but the game is afoot. We will definitely go right after them. Blossoming Sands gain 1, huh? All right, give them the business. I think we'll hold the adversary because we can kick it sooner than the other adversary. You know what I mean. Weaver of Harmony, of course. So, do we stop what we're doing and go after that Weaver? I think we can because we drew another adversary. Seems good. Often taking out the 2-drop of the enchantment deck is enough to put them far enough behind that you just win. Just like that. Well, we go first. Can we scry into a white source? And is that a keep? I don't think so. You gotta curve out with creatures. You really have to. Alright, this has the threat of doing it. We do have to draw land. Let's put this courtyard to work, though. And I really hope we don't draw the second Sekenzin. It would be a disaster. Sack life fetchy land thing. Okay. Let's go for a Thalia on the play. Give them a little Thalia action. If they're gonna play tap lands, Thalia might mess with them. Okay, never mind. They were ready for that. All right, no land. Classic. But we're getting in there. That can't block. Okay, rip a land right here. Come on. Come on, deck. Thank you. Give them the business. See if they can sweep the board. Are you a populate gamer? What have you got? Innkeeps. Okay. That Chariot? The Yasharn. Sharn's pretty good. Brutal Cathar can take it, though. 9? Yeah, it's the only way. Almost there, guys. Gotta get there. We force the innkeeper to chump. We drop him to 4. There's still a land away from Stomper. They need a big board presence. They got it. Ooh. Oh no. But that's the rip. That'll do. That'll do. It still does those Boros things. Those salt-inducing Boros things. We go first. We've got creatures on curve, but no way to pump these. We have to rip a haste creature. I'm going to put my faith in ripping a haste creature. I guess I can also adversary on turn 2. This courtyard might have to name vampire if we draw a bloodthirsty adversary. So we'll hold it back for a minute since we drew all white sources. Isn't it amazing how that happens? You can run like twice as many mountains as plains, but you still draw like double plains and the Aganjo, you know, and the courtyard. Amazing. Every time your brain rejects it, I didn't build my deck to do this. I built it to do the opposite. But it happens. It's always a possibility. But this shuffler is rigged. Silence. Rigged. All right, I think we just try to give them the business and hope that their draw isn't very fast and they don't have removal for this. Especially if we're going to draw a million land here. Nice! Flex on them, dude. Man, people are sick of Boros. We go first. We have no red source. Okay, mana's better. What do we keep? What do we toss? One of the Kamanos? I guess so. I guess so. You can only play one of them on turn 1 after all. And you want your hand to have the most upside possible if you just draw a bunch of lands in a row. Right. Sure. I think if I play this and they just hit it with a removal spell, then I guess I still get in there with this. Yeah. They're 2 turns from hooking it, so we'll just play it now. Pretty good upside. What I'd love is for them to play something and try to block it. That's not going to happen. Black blue? You kidding me? Okay then. We did it. Oh, look at that draw. Die. I mean, it's going well. We've kind of, as they say, blown our load. It's all on the battlefield. This is my plan. If they do something about it, we're in a lot of trouble. But we're coming at them fast. Double Valk. Okay. Well, they're going to have to block with that, right? But hopefully we draw another creature or something here. Brutal Cathar? Anyone? One time? Huh? Huh? Land. Okay. Well, trading the adversary seems really bad, but I still think we have to try this. Now, do we play this other adversary now as a 3/3? I don't think they're a counterspell deck. If we draw the land, we're really going to want to be able to play this, kick it, get the flare, right? I think I pass here. And I'm not sure that's right. I'm really not sure, but I think we're going to try. The F, dude. Are you kidding me right now? Rip it! Easy. They do have mana up this time. Do we just take this trade and save our play with fire? No. Negate is brutal. Oh well. I do think I hold this, though, for the last damage, because it can be a lethal threat on its own if the opponent meat hooks here. Actually, it isn't, because they can gain life from the hook, but... Ooh. Fight Club? I guess it's Fight Club. But you know the rules. We don't talk about Fight Club. It's the only deck I've seen play Alchemist Retrieval. Bind. Bind what? Bind Etching. Okay. Hit it! Easy. Easy game. Zappity zap. Play with fire strat. Still works. Go first. Go first. Go first. Did it. Unfortunately, our game starts on turn 3. I'm tempted to keep it anyway because the mana's that good. But man, if we don't get under a Jwari, our whole game is just dead. All right, mana's still good. It's a miracle. Guess we can put one of those flares away. But we're going to need to draw the cards we just mulliganed. We need, like, a Sundown Cavalier, a Thundering Riju, a Brutal Cathar. So hopefully we top one. Q. All right, tap land. I'm telling you that Jwari, the Jwari's always ready. But we've come out sending a message. The Jwari is always ready. Make disappear is always ready. Maybe I should have held. Maybe I should have held there. They can't expressive iteration here. Usually their turn 3 play of choice to dig up another removal spell and hit their land drop. Let's see what happens. I'm hoping they play a Fable. Nobody's played Fable against us. There we go. There we go. So this does damage right now. Is that better or worse than dropping the Brutal Cathar? Brutal Cathar right now gets rid of this as a token and it doesn't come back. And it also gets more on the battlefield. And I think they're at least a turn away from sweeping. Let's go with Brutal. Six life. We know we'll get a target for the Kami's Flare eventually when this flips, so I'm not worried about having no target. 2 dragons in the bin. You love to see it. They usually don't sweep the board on turn 4. Let's burn down the house. Or nothing. They pass turn here, this flips. You know they don't want that. Rosmari Command. Okay. Thundering Riju. Now they could counter it. Ooh, if they counter it, that's so bad. That's so bad. I think we don't. I think we... Yeah. I think we just attack here and try to Kami's Flare the Fable. Don't walk into a Jwari, man. Don't do it. Second Fable, sure. Sure. Totally fine. All right, this should do it. Still got it, baby. Rank up game with a rotation-proof deck. If nothing else, it says that maybe it's okay to craft this right now if you're looking for something to craft. Ooh, it's on the draw, but it has a removal spell. If the opponent's playing a control deck, it's not good enough. If they're playing a creature deck, it's pretty good. The lifelink's also really good. I'm gonna gamble that they're a creature gamer. Are you a gamer who creatures? A creature who gamers? What are you? Besides a fox enthusiast. And a sleeveless heathen. Deathcap Glade. Okay, I will tell the story of the plains. You play the mountain and you pass, and you know what? They know you don't have a play with fire. Now they can't be sure. That is bad. Prosperous frickin' innkeeper. Now I just have to do powerful things. I guess I'll drop a sentinel. On the draw against innkeeper into chariot is not something I will miss. But what's the replacement? What is innkeeper into question mark? What's the 4-drop that replaces chariot as a take over the game drop in the new format? That's the question. Oh my gosh, maybe they don't have a chariot one time? Are you telling me there's a chance? Doesn't look like a good chance from here, but... Turtle. Yeah, okay. You can't get through that. I mean, maybe that's the... Nope, that's rotating, but you know. That's really bad. That's really bad. That's a draw. We can play it now to keep attacking. Problem is it even worth it? Is it even worth it to take this out? They kill this, they bounce this, right? They just get another land? It's kind of a disaster. We could also 2-for-1 ourselves. That sounds delightful. Honestly, I think I wait a turn here. Let's get the initiate down and see what they do. And then maybe we can grow the initiate in the future. But let's set up here and try to line up the flare. Maybe it hits the innkeeper. Let's see what they do. Play skeleton swarming. That's what I want to see. Oh, come on. I mean, I guess it's okay. It's not the end of the world, is it? We didn't have a modified creature, so now we're not getting the extra damage anyway. All right, they don't have a Fading Hope. That's good. And we got the 3/4 off the board. And we draw the Sokenzen. Okay, let's try throwing this monster at them. If something can get us back in it, it might be this. Six mana, 1 mana away from a Titan. There's a binding. They're gaining 1 life for everything they kill. It makes it so difficult. Give them the business. Yeah, if they go land Titan here, there's no way. It's a tapped land. Maybe we get another turn? Never mind. It's Lulth. Good news is we can handle Lulth. We can drop a Cathar.
In exchange for loyalty.
It even gets a counter. We can take out one of these nasty spider tokens and we can swing in. And hopefully now the opponent just doesn't have a Titan. They only have 1 card left. How perfect could their hand be? It can't be that good, right? There's no way. Another land? A Sorin. Okay, we can handle this too. We are in this.
Consider yourself fortunate our motives align. You fight for me now.
Ready again with the Brutal Cathar. Come on, baby. The meat hook is going to hurt if they draw one, but we've got to do what we can while we can. Make hay while sun shines or something like that. Sunrise Cavalier can kill Sorin for sure. This can go face. This could trade with the spider. Do I have a solution to that spider? Maybe I draw land and I Bloodthirsty Adversary this? Or we play Adversary next turn and it's too big for the spider. So yeah, let's save our etching. This is where Trample on the Cavalier really shines. Killing these Planeswalkers the last 2 turns. Off the top, opponent, what can you do? Sultai Super Friends, what have you got? Pass turn, flip. We've got 2 first striking Moonrage Brutes now. We don't want the Hive to get in front of a Cavalier and trade for it. I think I'm going to be trying the Adversary, though. Maybe it's here. Land. Yeah, let's get him. Let's show him who's boss. Sound bugs or not. Let's get him. This is also a double spell, so the Brutes flip back. That's not great, but I think it's still the right play. Fading Hope. Okay, not that bad. Don't keep to the top. Not to the top, to the bottom. Okay. Still lethal damage, and they didn't power up Hive. They take it. They could have chumped here and gone to 1, but I guess they're just saying I'm dead next turn. And that is a rank up with a rotation-proof deck. And we are back for the post-game wrap. Let's check out the stats powered by MTG Assistant. Ta-da! Data is power. Stats are so weird for ladder. You saw that we ranked up. It's pretty much the result of the fact that we won 7 matches in a row to end my recording session for the day. And you can see that there was also a stretch where we lost, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. And we finished 9-8 as the overall record for the deck on ladder, which honestly, if you have a winning record at all with a rotation proof deck in current meta, it does say something powerful about the deck because you're using half the tools available to you. It also says something about the sets that are staying as opposed to the ones that are rotating out. There are powerful cards here. And this really showed it. You know, the Innistrad Midnight Hunt cards and Crimson Vow cards, the Capenna and the Kamigawa cards, they can and will run people down. I think it's kind of sneaky how powerful they turned out to be. Secluded Courtyard, as we saw, it's fixy enough. I think hopefully there was enough evidence in the video that you realized what a liability Sundown Pass is. And Secluded Courtyard, just every now and then, just think about if like one of our Sundown Passes was a Courtyard. If you just drew one of each and then one basic, like you're going to curve out so much better. And it makes such a huge difference in the game. So this is an interesting tribal solution to our mana problems that may present at the beginning of the format, and it's a card to keep your eye on that might be worth crafting now to start getting some experience building your mana base with it. And then what you want to do is really slant your mana base in a specific direction. I think I could definitely cut a plains, maybe even 2, and raise the mountain count because it was just so bad to have Secluded Courtyard and white cards as opposed to Secluded Courtyard and red lands, you know? So that would be my one recommendation. As for the fight for the 4-drop spot, Intrepid Adversary and its Anthem effect never mattered, and I mean, other than an opponent just scooping to it on turn 2 once, because I guess they couldn't kill it, it didn't do much in the games. Sun Gold Sentinel, the Exiling the Graveyard, didn't really come up, and neither did the Coven. It was always just a card that I would sometimes get down on turn 2. Occasionally it died, but they did have to remove it. Thalia, did it affect my opponent's play patterns? Here and there, I would say, but it also got outsized very quickly. That's partially because our opponents have Luminarch, Aspirant, and we don't. So, the battle for the 2-drop is open, and watch the Dominaria United spoilers closely. This position is vacant. It is definitely, like, everybody is still auditioning. Is unclear. Like, these cards all get callbacks, but we are still looking for a star to burst down the door and say, I am the 2-drop of the future. And I think if this deck finds that, it will be in a wonderful place, and then we can tweak the mana a little. If you didn't have to run Sundown Pass, it would be amazing. And if we get a creature land, ooh, gosh, but do we want a creature land that enters the battlefield tapped? Dude, curving out 1, 2, 3 is so important to this deck. I don't think a creature land that enters the battlefield tapped will be good enough. We need something, honestly, right along the lines of Den of the Bugbear that can come down in the early turns untapped. and it would be awesome if it fixed mana too. Am I asking too much, Wizards? So yeah, we'll see what mana Dominaria has in store. That's going to have a big play, a big say on how this plays out. But the rest of the deck, this cast right here, it's not going anywhere, and it is ready to rumble. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I'll see you in the next video. You're cool.